Neuralmix iPad tutorial. I'm DJ Spiegel Spin, and in this video, I'm going to show you guys everything you need to know. So back in 2021, Algorithm released the groundbreaking feature for the DJ Pro AI app, which was Neuralmix. And this completely changed the game in terms of DJing and has made iPad DJing so much more popular because this feature was only made possible because of the new chips that the new iPads and new iPhones were produced with. So they were able to use this technology to separate the vocals from the instrumentals in real time. And since then, the other popular DJ softwares such as Serato, Rekordbox, Virtual DJs have hopped on the separation of vocals and instrumentals. They call it something a little bit different, but DJ Pro AI was one of the first, and I believe they have the best Automix. So in this video, I'm just, whether you've used Automix before, you've been using the DJ Pro AI app a lot, and you just kind of forgot or you stopped using Automix, or if you're brand new to the app and want to find out where to find it, how to use it, and everything that you need to know, then this video is for you. And I've made other videos explaining how to do transitions and stuff like that, so you guys could check that out if you want to. So let's hop right into it. So when you first open the DJ Pro AI app, you are going to see these two records here, and we are in classic mode. This app is different than other DJ softwares where if you press this middle button, we can get into different modes. But right now, I'm going to show you everything you could do with Automix in classic mode, and then we'll move on to the other modes. All right, so first of all, there is, here, let me just stop this record. Let me bring everything back. So now the easiest way to access Automix, the easiest way to just switch to vocals only is by using this button down here. So down here is Neuralmix. So you press this button and you get this simple slider. So if you move it all the way to the left, you are going to get a full instrumental right there in real time. This is great if you want to scratch over something, if you want to just have an instrumental break, or if you want to play another song's vocals on top of a different song's instrumentals, effectively making a really cool mashup on the fly. And then the same thing with the vocals. Say there's a song, maybe doesn't have the best beat, or the beat won't really go with the music that you've been playing. You could throw the vocals on top of another song's instrumental. And it's also good as kind of like a safety net, because one rule in DJing is you never want to play two songs' vocals at the exact same time. It's going to confuse people, maybe give people a headache. So to avoid that, if you're pretty sure that the song doesn't have any more vocals coming up, but you're not 100% sure, when you're ready to do your transition, you could just slide this to instrumental only, and then you don't have to worry ever about two vocals bleeding through. I do this almost every time I do a mix, just for safekeeping. And then here, if you see where my mouse is, here we can change a couple of things. So this is the layout that it starts with, and I think this one is the best one because it's just so easy. Just boom, and you're in vocals only, or boom, you're in instrumentals. But we can click here, and then we could change it from percussive to tonal. Let me just put it back. Or we could go over here, and then now instead of a slider, it's a button. So if you think it's easier to have a button than a slider, then you could do that. So you press this, and the vocals are either on or off, and then you can press the other one if you want it to be only instrumentals. I found that it's kind of hard to use, especially if you're just using the touchscreen. So I would recommend leaving it as the slider. I feel like it works best. You could smoothly fade out the vocals and then smoothly fade in the vocals. So although you could do a lot of stuff with Automix from this tiny little button down here, you can also go over here. This is where you're going to find your hot cues, your loops, your effects, and your mixer. But all the way to the left here, now we have Automix. And this is Neuralmix. And now this is the best most capable part that you're going to see Automix, because you could do the most with it. You could have a lot more control. So this is what it's going to look like when you first start. Let me just load up a song. So we're loading up a song. So I'm just going to let the song play, and then I'm going to slide down the drums, slide down the harmonics, and then slide down the vocals so you guys can hear what it sounds like. So the song's playing. So that's no drums, no harmonics, only vocals. So as you can see, a little bit bleeds through. It's not 100% perfect. It's not the same as if you actually downloaded the instrumental or the vocals, but it's pretty damn close to it, and it'll work just fine, especially if you have the beat of another song playing. So let me just put these back up and then show you how it takes out the vocals. So you almost hear absolutely no vocals, and it's really cool. So in this screen, if you want no vocals, you could just slide down that fader, or you could press this button here to the top right. This mutes that section, or you could do the same thing to mute the drums, the harmonics, or the vocals, and then you could press the one that you want to be on. All right, so now that is the screen that it's going to start with, but there is obviously some customization features that we could use. So now we could change it, just like in the other one, we could go from drum, bass, and melodic. It's just, if you've done music, if you played piano, if you played the drums before, you might be more familiar with this type of setting. But if you're like me and only got introduced to music by DJing, then it's easier to just go drums, harmonics, and vocals, because everyone knows that. And then you could go from 3 bands to 2 bands. So now it's just instrumental and a cappella. So if you don't want to deal with the harmonics, if you don't really know what a harmonic is, if you don't really want to have it there, then it might be easier for you to just go with these 2. Next is you could even go to 4 bands. Now we got the drums, the harmonics, the vocals, and then something that's really important to DJing is the bass. So just like you never want to play 2 songs, vocals, and having them play and confusing everyone, you don't really want to have 2 songs having full bass booming, because then you might have too much bass. And this is something that a lot of beginners struggle with, like such as this is what I struggled with, because I started DJing and I would practice just with my iPad or just with my phone and no speakers. So if you're booming 2 songs basses all the way, you're not really going to know how bad it sounds, because the small speakers on your device aren't really going to reflect. Same thing if you're using like little earbuds, like the ones that come with your phone, then you're not going to know this. So now we have the ability to just simply, if you hear too much bass, take the bass out. And I really like that feature, but I do normally keep it in the 3 bands section. So the mixer has changed in DJing, and this has changed the mixer. Traditionally, if you look over here, when you would DJ, you would have 2 turntables or CDJs, then you'd have a mixer with lows, mids, and highs. So if you wanted to get out the vocals, like sometimes the vocals are in the mids, and you could take out the mids, and you can mix it that way, and you were able to do it, but it was much harder. Now, if we go over here to this EQ button, we could go to Neuralmix EQs. And now this is the same EQ that you will see in the Reloop Buddy and other controllers that were designed specifically for DJ Pro AI after this feature was released. And then now we could use our mixer, whether you're using a controller or just the app on the iPad. instead of doing the lows, mids, and highs, you now have the drums, the harmonics, and the vocals. So it's a different way of mixing, and I believe that that is the future of mixing. And also, I made videos on how to map Neuralmix into any controller, so definitely check those videos out as well. So in this section, we could also go to Neuralmix crossfader. So now we get a crossfader. So we could go in the middle, we could go to the right, we could go to the left, and instead of a mixer with knobs, we got a crossfader. So you could smoothly fade one song's vocals into the other. You can do the same things with the harmonics, and you have a lot of control. It might take some getting used to because it's kind of confusing and it looks kind of weird, but that is something that you could do if that's the way you want to mix, if you're more used to using crossfaders. So another thing I want to show you guys quick is that there's some effects. So you could use Neuralmix specific effects. And I made videos specifically about how to use the Neuralmix effects, so you guys can check those out. Let's just go over the pro mode so you can see how to do it. So pretty much the same thing down here. It's just a little bit smaller and down below, and you get the same view, the same thing with the mixer, and the same thing with Neuralmix over here. And the same, obviously not in the looper section, obviously not in one deck, but you could access it here in 4-deck mode, which is really cool. And then also in video mode, you get the same bottom half as you do in pro mode. So let me know if you guys have any questions or comments. Let me know if you use Neuralmix, if you think it works well, or if you think it doesn't. And if you have any questions regarding DJing with the iPad, let me know. I try to get back to all the questions. And if you found value in this video, please give it a like and subscribe to this channel. I make several DJing videos a week. Thank you.